Han Meditations.
We see quite a generation gap between our generation and our parents' generation, and it sometimes so happens that
Hey, no, not me, huh? No gap between you and me. I'm much younger than you.
It sometimes so happens that we want something out of our life and they don't necessarily agree with it, and we end up in a conflict. And we sometimes even curb our desires just to see them happy. So how do we deal with that conflict?
See, please sit down, thank you. This is not a problem with your generation. This is a problem, unfortunately, with every generation. I think it's very silly that every generation has the same problem. If we are in a learning mode, at least we must have a new problem, isn't it? Every generation has the same problem. Though they were also youth just 25, 30 years ago, somehow they suddenly act like they landed, just like as they are today. So, because your parents are not here, I can't talk to them, so we'll talk to you. If you want to craft your life the way you want, and what you want, if it's not in concurrence with your parents or the society in which you live in or the university in which you're studying, it can happen. What you choose may not be in line not only with your parents' choices, may not be in line with your peers' choices, may not be in line with the institution's choices, may not be in line with the society in which you live. So if you want to do your own thing, you must understand there will be a price to pay. Only thing you're complaining about is how to have what I want without paying a price. There is no such life. If you want to do what you want, and if what you want is not in line with the larger interests of what is around you, then they will make you pay a price. If what you want means so much to you, you must pay the price. But if you find the price is too much for what little you want to do, you will step back naturally. It is like going to the market, you know. You went and want to buy a few flowers, that guy says 2,000 bucks for flowers. You say, no, I want flowers, but no, because he's asking too big a price. This is so with every step in our life. When we want to do something, there will be a price attached to it. We must evaluate, do I want to pay this price? What I want, does it mean so much to me that I'm willing to pay this price? Or I'm not willing to pay this price? This is individual. There is no standard treatment for everybody. This is individual. Some people want it so badly, they're willing to pay any price. For some people, it's a passing interest, so they will drop it and they'll go on. There's nothing wrong with both. Both are fine.
Right, so essentially, what people have to understand is if you're getting advice from your parents or if you're feeling a rift between you and your parents, the parent's job is supposed to be to support the children and protect the children and raise them in a healthy and stable environment. So if you feel a rift between you and your parents, you have to realize what that rift truly about, because you have to think, if your parents don't want you to be doing something, you truly have to ask yourself and honestly evaluate if they're trying to tell you not to do it out of control or out of love and, you know, respect that they believe you might not have for yourself or your family or whatever that is. But you have to discern whether it's out of control or whether it's truly good advice for you. So a good way to discern whether it's out of control or not is to go and truly ask what your parents' motives are. If they just want you to follow a path just to be just like them, or if they just want you to follow a path that they believe is supposed to be, you know, for you, for their envisionment of you, their dream, that maybe they had a dream that they didn't achieve and they want you to be just like that, you have to realize what their motive is. Are they doing it out of love or control? If they're doing it out of control, then you just have to realize that it might not be the best thing for you to be talking and, you know, sharing all the information with your parents, because eventually just being your true self will, you know, come to a point where they'll be able to see that you are being the best version of yourself, and you are inspiring them and other people around you as well. So I'm not saying to lie to your parents. I'm not saying to deceive them, but I'm just saying to go put your head down and start to work on yourself, work on your spirituality, work on your business, work on, your financial status, whatever you can do to really support yourself fully and wholly, and chase whatever dream you have. If you're believing in your true heart that you have a dream or a purpose, then it's there for a reason. So you just have to expand upon that.
Yeah, sometimes relationships with parents can be tricky because, at the end of the day, they're just humans just like us. And sometimes our parents have unresolved issues, trauma, things from the past that they might not even realize. And it's still, in their psyche, in their mind, and affecting them. And, I like to believe almost every parent does mean well and does want the best for you, even if it doesn't come out right. And they sometimes can just have an idea in their mind of what's best for you because they're your parent and they raised you your whole life and pretty much guided your whole life. And sometimes once you finally become an adult and you can make your own decisions, it can be tricky for the parent to let go of that. But it's vice versa too, because you'll see parents who are pushing kids to do something, but it's because they kind of want to live vicariously through their kid and, have their kid achieve things that they wanted for themselves but never were able to. So at the end of the day, it's all about following your heart. And I believe that if you're truly following your heart, some rifts may come up, but if that is truly in your heart to do something, I believe that by you, as Han said, being yourself and following that path, eventually your parents will truly see that, and at the end of the day, they do want you to be happy. So I think if you continue that and it is from your heart, they'll know it and they'll start to accept it.
Yeah, and the older you get, it gets to a point where you realize that your parents aren't perfect. A lot of people, at least myself, I'm sure Kelly as well, you start to believe that your parents are perfect. They know everything. Mm-hmm. Whenever you grow older and older, you realize their flaws more obviously as you become an adult and realize, oh, wow, they don't have it how I, believed that they had it because I thought they were superheroes. I thought everything they did was right and, completely just. But, they make mistakes too. So they're humans, just as Kelly said. They make mistakes. So, and if you find yourself fighting with your parents a lot as well, sometimes it's just good to just say, hey, step back and say, okay, you're right, and move on and stop trying to argue over little things and just work on what you can change, and that's yourself. Don't worry about trying to change someone else's perspective and change someone else. Worry about what you can do to help yourself, and then through helping yourself, you will change the world around you in better ways than you could have ever even imagined.
Definitely. And it can be hard. I mean, I'm very lucky that my parents have never been pushing me on anything. They've always been very open to whatever I want to pursue in life. But I know some parents can be very strict about things and really are, have one path in mind for you and only want that for you. But it can be tricky, but you just have to keep in mind it's just because they do want the best for you. And sometimes it doesn't come out the right way, but they do just want the best for you, and they do love you, and just remember that.
Yeah. So if you feel yourself feeling conflict with your parents, the perfect thing to do is meditate, guys. I actually just dropped a new meditation today on the channel. I'm dropping them every single week in addition to reaction videos. So just go ahead and support it, guys. Like the video, comment, subscribe. That keeps me motivated to keep going and keep creating cool content for you guys. So thank you so much for watching.
Absolutely. We'll see you in the next video.